Hi, I'm Kate and I make junk journals, and before I start today's tutorial, I wanted to tell you two things. First, the tutorial that I'm going to show you today is kind of an in-between page. I was working on it right in the middle of the 5-panel fold-out project, and I decided to decorate the back page of the 5 panels. I recorded it the same day as when I did the 4th panel, so you'll see that project and you'll see that it's not quite done yet. But I ended up not using this part of the video because the tutorial was way long enough, so I decided to make it its own tutorial because I really liked it and I really love the way the page turned out. So that's why this week it doesn't really have an intro and it just kind of starts out like we're halfway through a project. But it's a fabulous page and I'm sure you're gonna love it. Also, I wanted to announce the giveaway winners. Are you ready? The winners are Kerri Taylor, Karen Puschmann, Denise Murdock, Michele Samuels, and Ellie Bird. Thank you everybody who entered, and thanks for watching my avocado dye tutorial. It was really fun to make and I'm glad that it helped a lot of people make some really pretty paper. So if you're one of the 5 winners, please email your mailing address to katesjunkjournals@gmail.com. You have 2 weeks to send me your address, otherwise I'll pick a different winner. So I can't wait to hear from you soon. And now, enjoy the video. Let's go ahead and embellish this little back page. This is technically our 6th panel, but the reason that I didn't include it in our 5-panel fold out is because technically all of these are just this page. So as we open the book, you know, this is one page and this would be a second page. So let's do this page real quick. It's gonna be super simple, I think, you know, but I usually start out thinking it'll be super simple before I complicate everything. So for this, all I wanna do is add a little strip of paper here. We're definitely gonna wanna reinforce this as well, and then we can just put a tag in here as well. So let's do that. So I have all of these leftover strips of paper. I'm just gonna use these to create another little notebook thingy thing. And I'm just going to stagger my ends and find a pencil. Here's a marker, that'll work. I'm just going to measure a little bit, make sure there's a border on that side, and then measure in a border on that side. And I bet I could just do it right in between those 2 dots would be a good place to cut. And I'm just gonna slice all 3 of these papers together, just kind of holding them staggered and keeping them in a group. And then I'm going to hold that there. I could fold this down and create more layers and then do the top, but for some reason I don't want to. I think it looks nice, smooth. So I'm going to just mark where I want the top to be cut. Okay, to attach these to each other, I'm just going to glue them, but you can also sew across the top. And I do that quite often too, just to kind of help them stay together. But today I think I'm just gonna glue them and maybe use some washi tape on the top. So I'll just make a little thin strip along the top and then press that down. Make another little thin strip across the top. We'll put our top layer on. So then all of that is glued together and I can just put that on. And we can just glue the top, and so that kind of flips up like this, and we can leave that blank or put something behind there so you kind of lift up and see what's going on. But I think I'm just going to glue these 3 sides and create a little pocket that kind of pulls out that way. So just flipping it over. Okay, so now let's find something to put in there and something to put in there. Let's see if this fits. It looks like it's the right shape. And normally I don't like it when things stick out all the way to the edge, but because it kind of blends in and looks like part of the background paper, but then it's different, I don't know, I kind of like the way that looks, so I'm just gonna keep that like there and not trim it down. And then let's find a tag for this. Come here, tags. Let's see. I really like the way that that looks, but it might be a tiny bit too long, so I'm just going to barely trim the edges to make it a little bit thinner. Then that should fit a little nicer. Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay, but we should probably embellish a little bit more. So let's see what we got. We could
create a little flower thing. This is a pretty floral junk journal, so maybe we could do some paper like that. And I'm gonna use my glue stick for this. I just feel like my 3-in-1 is kind of getting to the end and getting kind of gloopy, which I've heard you can put like acetone in it and it kind of helps prevent it from getting thick and gloopy when it's at the end. And I don't know why that seems so daunting to me, but I need to be brave and just try that out because I hate it when it gets to the end of the bottle. And I got these cute little flowers from Cindy at Washiful. And she's got an Etsy site and she's on Instagram, so you can check her out. But I love these flowers. Okay, that is super cute. And I think I want to add a little bit more. Oh, and this is cute. It's too big for anything here, but maybe if I put it on here and made a little belly band, I could stick another little piece of writing something in there. Okay, where's the tag? Pick a tag, any tag. We'll just grab one of these little 4x3 cards. There we go. Kind of adds a little something more, some little more color and some dimension and something's going on. All right, I think that is super cute. And the last thing I'm gonna do is just add something here to make sure that the structure of this page is just unbreakable. So it's going to be sewed in my book like this, and all this heavy paper is going to be just all on this little sewn signature, and that paper is just going to rip right out if we don't do something about it. So I'm going to pull out the big guns. I'm going to get some Tyvek, which comes in the priority mail envelope, and every time I'm running low, when I'm at the post office, I just grab a little bit of this stuff so I can use it to reinforce things. This can rip, but it's harder to rip and it's very rigid and it's kind of designed so that it won't tear. And since I don't want this to tear, it's really nice to use. So I'm just gonna measure to where it's a little bit shorter than the bottom and a little bit shorter than the top, somewhere like that. That seems to fit on there. And I'll just make sure it's nice and glued. So on my paper, both the Tyvek and this glue are gonna serve as an extra layer, and then we're gonna find something else to put on top of it that will kind of help strengthen it and also make it a little prettier. Okay, so we'll just kind of put that in the middle of there. Something else that helps strengthen this page is when you build something on this page that is rigid, that kind of goes across the whole page. Because right now all the weight is on this side and this is nice and structured, but this is soft and, you know, rippy. So, and that's fine for this side because I know that this side I'm gonna have more across and that will help with the rigidity of that page. But that's something to keep in mind if you're trying to help a page be able to bear weight or be more structured, is you can really put a thick piece of paper and just like glue 3 edges or glue something across so that it will hold up a little bit better. Okay, let's find, this is the packaging that comes from my Etsy orders from Gwen Offit's Etsy shop that I love so much. And I love that she always uses cute tissue paper because I totally use it. Does anyone else react very differently about tissue paper now that you make junk journals? Like when someone gives you a gift, it's like, oh, cute tissue paper, yes. I used to not care, but now I'm always like looking at the tissue paper. Okay, let's see. Does that fit? That is pretty close. Just have to trim that a little bit. And I actually think I want it facing up because I want it to be uplifting. I don't want to be pointing down at anything. I'm just gonna trim it to where it's not sticking out so far. And you can cut it smooth or kind of leave a ratty edge. And you know, I actually think I'm going to cut this edge straight and then leave that one ratty. See if this will let me cut it. Nice and gentle. That is not nice and gentle. Apparently I don't know how to cut tissue paper. So instead of having it perfectly straight, I'll just have it straight-ish. And that'll have to do for me. There we go. So much better. That's funny. Do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna stick a big piece of washi tape over that edge and make it straight. So let's not worry about that just yet. Let's just get this glued down. And I'm just gonna glue all over with this Craft Extra, what is this? Extra Strength Glue Stick, Craft Bond from Elmer's. And then after I've kind of glued all around there, I'm gonna press this down. See See if I can kind of get it where I want it. Now that I know I'm putting a strip of washi tape there, I'm not too worried about that edge, but I do want it coming over this side, and I'm gonna see that tattered edge. So I'll just smooth this down and then take the glue stick and then rub on top of it as well. Kind of decoupage that on there. And I just thought of something else. I keep thinking of things. So instead of putting a little border, I'm going to fold a little strip of paper. And let's just cut that down, cut off that extra. So I have this, and I am going to just glue one side down to the edge, and that will help my page actually have a lot more structure. And then I am going to cut it to be the length of the paper. So somewhere right here. Super straight. Goodness me. Okay, now I'm gonna glue this whole bottom side right here. And then that will, let's see, where does that bend? There's the edge of the paper right here where that crease is, and I'm gonna just kind of put it really close to that edge. And that will just kind of help cover that wonky edge that didn't quite work. But it will also provide that structure that I was talking about, making that more rigid. And then this I can flip open and write in, and when it's closed, this card can kind of help keep that closed. So now we have a little bit more, oops, that's still wet, so I don't want to fold it. But now we have a little bit more color, a little bit more fun, and then we take this out, then we can open that up. And we could put a little piece of writing paper there, or keep going, but gotta stop sometime. And I like the way that that pattern sits behind there. So for me, this is complete. And I'll probably go in and try to beautify that a little bit more, maybe put some cute things. That kind of ended up being kind of mucky, but at least I know that it's strong now. So whatever I put on top of it, whether I cover the whole thing up or I just embellish it and make it look better, this page has a lot more structure. And I will probably also do something to this side as well, just because this is such a chunky page. And I can like feel it's super heavy, and we still have one more panel to go. And that last panel is gonna actually be quite heavy as well. So hopefully that will help it stay a little bit more. We did our little bonus page back there. Thanks so much for crafting with me today. If you make anything from any of my tutorials, I would love to see it. You can tag me on Instagram at Kate's Junk Journals. Make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications. Thank you so much for all your amazing comments. Please keep your comments and questions coming. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see you next week.